I miss those days. I miss those days. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm in my walk with Christ, so I don't dwell on lustful things anymore. So that thought is next.
If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying? What make you think you greater than Jesus, nigga?
Now, fellas, this is how it looks when a bird is having withdrawals from the streets. The streets is calling her name. That's pretty much what she's trying to tell you all. But here's the thing. She gotta pretend. She gotta play the role because she just made 30 and the goal is to find a sucker who's gonna make her a wife. Now, in case y'all forgot, just yesterday she was crying.
I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot in my teenage phase. I went through a lot in my 20s. I made a lot of mistakes, and there was a lot of people who drugged me through the dirt for it. And I believed it for a long time. I wasn't nice to myself because of what others said about me until I knew who I really was and whose I really was, which is yours, Lord. Now nobody can shake how I feel about myself. Nobody can change how I feel about myself. Nobody can change how I view myself.
That shit is crazy.
Already she's having flashbacks. And this is why it's impossible to save a bird. As a man, your job is to understand the cycle of a bird. A bird gives her prime years to the streets. So when a bird is 20, 21, 22, 23, she's going to be outside having fun, doing whole shit. And then she's going to say to herself, when I reach the age of 30, I'm going to find a husband. But here's how life works. A virtuous woman will be looking for her husband when she's in her prime years, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. But a bird rather give her prime years to the streets. And when she's all washed up and over with, that's when she's going to be looking for a husband. And like I told you guys, when it comes to this chick, it's all a play. Okay? Now, Megan Thee Stallion did the same thing with Clay. Well, she's in a process of trying to get Clay to make her his wife. Pay attention to what age she got with Clay. It was when she reached the age of 30. However, before she reached the age of 30, in her prime years, what is she known for? For twerking. So, y'all see how the life of a bird works? It's not fake, fellas. It's real. A virtuous woman will always give her prime years to her husband, whereas a bird will always give her prime years to the streets. And that's why you got to pay attention to what a woman did in her prime years. If you married a woman in her 30s and she said that she was outside in her early 20s, you married a bird. That's just the reality, fellas. And like I told you guys, this is all a play. And right now, she's doing a rebrand and she's trying to clean up her image because, like I said, she's trying to find a husband.
Words. She said, I'm ready for your husband to find you. And I said, that part. She said, I'm tired of seeing you, auntie. I said, oh. Oh. Then Bree was like, oh, I'm not tired of her. I'm not tired of seeing her, auntie. Like, that's the best of the best right there. But my mom, I know what she meant, but she meant well. But really what she meant was like, I want to see you with your own children, like, you know. Of course. So if you guys want to say a prayer about me, pray that my husband finds me very soon. I don't want to put a timestamp on it, but I really want I want my sister Brooke to get married so bad. If I could choose, Lord, let my sister Brooke find a husband first. Or we could find a husband the same year and we could have like a dual wedding. Ooh, that's fire. Cause I always wanted to have like a wedding that was like a week, like a weekend. Like a multiple day wedding, like Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday is the wedding. But I could be like, my sister's wedding is on Friday, party on Saturday, my wedding's on Sunday. That would be hard. Dang. Mark my words. Y'all better pray for me because
It's an evil world we live in.
Yo, here's the thing, right? Birds don't value marriage, but the reason why birds want to be married, because if a woman been in the streets all her life and nobody never saved her, her value drastically drops after she reached the age of 30. So getting married is like a championship for a bird, right? Because she was able to live her prime years in the streets, being a hoe, and then when she reached the age of 30, when she's past the prime, she was able to find a sucker. That is the ultimate win for a bird. And I wouldn't be surprised if she's able to get a sucker to marry her. Because the thing about a bird will always be able to pull a sucker. It is what it is. Now, you guys peep, look at her shirt. Now she's wearing a shirt with Jesus on it. This is the same chick that was twerking, busting it wide open a few weeks ago. But because the goal is to find a husband, she got to do a fake rebrand. But if you listen to her, you could tell that she really doesn't value marriage. That's why she's saying, I want my sister to get married before me. And it's crazy because these birds be running the same play over and over and over. Right now, she's going to play this nice guy role. She's going to find some sucker out there. He's going to save her, only to watch her return back to the streets in 2 to 3 years. And to tell you how this chick is so prone to the streets, this is the type of husband that she wants.
I pray that my husband has forever like childlike ways. Like not childish, but like just for example, like watching animated movies, Disney movies, cartoons, um, like doing youthful things still. Inner child, yes, inner child. I pray that my husband brings out my inner child and his own inner child, and we stay youthful forever because that's something I know for sure. I um I would never I'm never giving that up. I'm forever gonna be one of those girls that brings out their inner child. Because like I told y'all, I didn't really like being a child. I wanted to be grown real bad. So I didn't even get to like soak up being a kid when I was.
Stop it. Get some help.
This is a grown ass 30-year-old woman praying for her husband to have childlike ways. Understand what's going on here, fellas. When it comes to birds, they never grow up mentally. Birds always want to have a fun time. That's what their life is based upon. Their life is not based on working hard, being disciplined, being committed. Their entire life, they always took the shortcut route. Like when a woman uses her body to get what she wants, that's a woman who is living off the flesh. That's a woman who is used to instant gratification. If you're a man of discipline, if you're a man of structure, you can't get with a woman like this because she doesn't understand delayed gratification. And the problem with chicks like this, they usually find some square out there who is going to save them only to leave him because he's too boring. And this is why these birds always return back to the streets. And to be honest with you, if a woman ran through this amount of dudes, you can't change that.
That India Love has been connected to. Okay, there was a guy by the name of Ron Washington. Then there was Soldier Boy. Then there was Brandon Wimberly, Justin Combs, The Game. There's a story behind the Game situation. Y'all should look it up. Her India Love in The Game, right? Jaleon Love, he's a boxer. There's another one by the name of Cliff Dixon, Rick Ross. It's rumored that she had gotten with Drake, Lil Yachty, Rich the Kid, Jonnu Smith, who's a football player, Sheck West, Dwayne Bacon, right? Like she's been connected to a few people. Roddy Rich, rumored, right? And then she was with, Devin, of course.
Look, fellas, be wise out here, bro. Y'all gotta understand that there's not a man on this planet that got the power to turn a bird into a housewife. Y'all gotta understand that a man can't change what's already embedded in these women. They already chose the streets. They already give their soul to the streets. You will only look foolish trying to change them. But you gotta understand their game plan. It's the same strategy. Deal with the players in my prime. Find a sucker when I'm past my prime. Use him, power up, and return back to the streets to mess with the players. Fellas, be wise out here, man. For real.
If you haven't yet, go get you some of that merch. Y'all already know, don't feed the birds. That's what it is. We don't feed the birds over here. So if you rock with your boy, go get you some of that good merch.